Awesome. So it's 5:30 now. So welcome to this webinar on career in robotics and IoT. Myself, I'm Akshat Goyal. I have over 8 years of experience in IoT, Android, machine learning, and full stack. I've been through various development platforms and various development environments, and I've reached here today, and I'm in front of you speaking about robotics and IoT. A little bit about me. I got into IIT Delhi in 2008. I got into mechanical engineering, was deeply passionate about computer science. I was a little bit different that I was passionate about computer science, but I got into mechanical engineering. That was a little bit of twist. But yes, that's what happened. And as a result of it, I did more than 15 projects and 4 internships. Most of them were in computer science, did a lot of trainings online and offline. And as a result of it, got placed in a very good company in Japan at the end of 4 years of engineering of mine. After working for 2 years in Japan, I decided to come back to India and started giving my mantra to engineering students in India, like helping them achieve their dream career in their like scenario. Okay, so let's get started. So basically, I want all of you to understand that code rules. Okay, we are living in a time where almost everything that you see around, all your apps and all your internet and everything that you see around is made by some engineer. Okay, is made by some engineer writing some code in some part of the world. Okay, and almost every industry that you see around, whether it's movie booking or whether it's like how you order food online or how you study online, all these industries are being disrupted. Okay, and when these industries are being disrupted, the basic foundation stone for all of these things is code. Okay, and right now we are in the best position to basically influence the world around us. Okay, and when you match this with electronics, with electronics, it is really changing the world. Okay, like you have seen how drones are being used in the army. You have seen how like autonomous drones are being used by various e-commerce majors like Flipkart and Amazon to deliver goods at your home, right? You see how now you can turn off your washing machine or your AC just by the tap of your button on the phone screen, right? That is what the power becomes when you combine code with electronics. Okay, so at the outset of it, so this is how the industry and the technology around us is evolving. Okay, and if probably you are in computer science, you are not in computer science. Okay, you can learn to code online and you can be a part of this revolution. Number one. Next thing, you can also learn electronics. Probably you are already in electronics. If you're already in electronics, then it is very good for you because you can get knowledge of coding and you can learn best in class electronics and become a part of this revolution. Even if you are not in electronics, even then you can still learn electronics, learn how to make circuits, because electronic also can be learned online. Okay, so you can learn electronics, learn coding, and be a part of this revolution. Okay, you can make your own very cool robots, you can make your very own cool IoT applications. Okay, so that is where we are heading towards. Okay, now I would like to invite my friend Ankit, who is with us today. Like he has a massive experience with IoT. He has worked in multiple startups in IoT. He is a very passionate engineer, electronics engineer, very much interested in embedded systems. So I'm going to invite him, and he will take over for next 30 to 40 minutes. He will take you over through various concepts and various things that are there for electronics and how they match up into this world of IoT and robotics. Okay, and how you can make some very cool applications and very cool projects. Okay, even for your btech projects, and also how you can prepare yourself for a career in IoT and robotics. Okay, so I'm handing over the mic to him. Okay, so please welcome Mr. Ankit.
Hi everyone, my name is Ankit and I've been working in electronics manufacturing industry since I graduated, and I have experience in IoT technologies, PCB design and also as embedded developer. I got into MSIT in 2011 and I did my BTech in electrical engineering electrical and electronics engineering, I always had deep passion about embedded systems, and I did two internships and two projects. And I also learned the art of designing PCBs from various online courses and offline blogs. I have designed many breakout boards and two-layer and four-layer PCBs as well. I have worked in IoT-based startups like Akshat told you, and my role were in these companies were as hardware engineer, IoT engineer, and also as embedded developer. So, what is PCB? Well, we see PCBs regularly, right? So, but we never get to understand like what actually is a PCB. So, let's see what a PCB is. Well, a PCB is a printed circuit board, or also called a printed wiring board or a printed wiring card. Before the advent of PCBs, circuits were constructed through a laborious process of point to point wiring, which led to various failures at wire junction and short circuits when wire insulation began to age and crack. On the left side, you can see how connections were used to be done in the past. And as you can see, this is not the right way to do connections, as you will never be able to understand which wire is going where and how you will be able to test this circuit when a fault occurs. So on the right side, you see a modern PCB which has maybe 20 or 100 of components connected on it, and all the connections between these components is done within this PCB footprint.
So you can actually imagine, like, so this is how our, so whenever you open your computer, right, like you see a CPU, right, an Intel CPU, and it actually looks like on the image that you see on the right hand side, right, because it has lots of components on the microscopic scale, okay, and all of this is made possible through this current level of technology that we are having, right? You do not see a mesh of wires that you see on the left hand side of your screen, right? Over to you, Ankit.
Yeah, so as we know that modern devices got smaller, we also know that technology to connect them also got smaller. So now let's start with the main topics of this webinar. So, and first come robotics. So let's see what is robotics. Well, robotics is a mix of mechanical, electrical, and computer science engineering. The amalgamation of these fields produce robots, and robots are electromechanical systems designed typically to help humans with tedious, repetitive tasks and sometimes dangerous tasks also. The most simple way to understand robots is that they are reprogrammable and can do multiple functions. Now, robots are classified in three parts. The first part is industrial robots, second is non industrial robots, and third are special purpose robots. Now, let's see these different types of robots. So, on the left side, you can see an Indian UAV which is developed by DRDO and its name is Netra. Netra is developed for mass surveillance and recon missions and has a range of 2.5 kilometers from its takeoff point. Picture in between them is of Kuka Robocoaster, which is used for amusement rides and is developed by a German company called Kuka. On the extreme right side, you can see NASA's Curiosity, which is used to do Mars exploration missions. In Eckovation robotics courses, you have a great learning experience of how things work in robotics, and you get to learn all of these things from the scratch. You were saying something, Akshat?
Yeah, so guys, like while we are like doing this webinar, you can keep asking your doubts, whatever you're having in the comment section of this video. Okay, so just scroll down a bit and you can type whatever doubt you're having. We'll be taking up the doubts in the last 15 minutes of this session. Over to you, Ankit.
Well, next let's see IoT. Internet of Things is IoT. Uh, IoT is a network of different types of sensors and physical devices which are interconnected and can send data to the internet. Well, data once collected can be used to do many things like tracking, monitoring, analytics, automation, etc. Now, let's see a video which shows applications of IoT in more details. Just give me a minute because it's saying media not found. Okay, so the video was actually about how Tata is providing IoT technology in India. So Tata is using LoRa network to provide IoT applications in India, and they are providing four use cases for this. And their use cases is to track the electrical consumptions and to monitor the status of hygiene related services, and also they used to do one more thing which was temperature monitoring also, and the last thing they want to do also was tracking also. And all these things were connected with the LoRa framework. So uh, so within the LoRa framework, uh, LoRa is basically a long range wireless communication technology. In this technology, what happens is you have an end device, and that end device is transmitting data, which can be anything, which can be data from a sensor, which can be data from, let's say, your car. That can be a GPS data. It can be anything. So when that data is sent from an end device, that data is went to the gateway. And what gateways does in LoRa framework is, gateway is just a dumb device. What it does, it takes the data and sends that data to the server. Now at server end, what happens is, you the data which you received, you play with that data. So you create an application. The application, whatever the application you create, you get to work with the data. You can do analytics with that data. Like I just gave an example of GPS. So if you are receiving GPS coordinates, what you can do with GPS coordinates is, you can check the delivery process. Okay, so these are the things which Tata were trying to and still are trying to do in India, and they have a plan to finish this by 2019, and they are currently available in five cities, I think, which is Delhi, Mumbai, Jamshedpur, and I don't really remember the rest of the cities. So in IoT, in IoT Eckovation course, well, you will be able to learn how full cycle of IoT is completed. That is like I just explained, like LoRa framework is from end device to gateway, and gateway then to server. So you will be able to learn how all of these things work and how applications are created within IoT. And yes, that's pretty much it about the IoT course. And next, let's see build your drone. So we have this course as well, and in this course we provide you all the components which are required to build the drone. And the capabilities of drone is that this drone has a flight time of 15 to 20 minutes, and it also has a 1 kilometer range from its takeoff point, and it's completely built on Arduino Mega, and it also has an emergency cutoff power feature.
So guys, did you ever thought of prepare like having your own drone, right? Like you get these drones everywhere in the shops these days, right? But did you ever thought of like making your own drone itself? Okay, like having the battery, having the motors, and making something that actually flies. Okay, at the touch of a button on your remote. Okay, now that is something that is really awesome and introduces you the concepts of engineering in the terms of balancing the weight and making sure that the center of gravity works fine, understanding the concept of thrusts, and then having high power rotational systems and how to control them. Then obviously you will be able to learn cutting edge electronics. Like it involves a lot of concepts, okay, and you will be able to actually learn these concepts when you basically build your own drone kind of thing, right? Yeah.
Well, also in this course, the drone which we have built, it also has an auto level feature. What this means is that there are like four channels. If I tell you something about this course, like the transmitter and receiver we are using, it has four channels. One is for power, which creates which spins these motors, and three other channels are for actually leveling the quadcopter. But in this course, what we have done is you just have to provide power through the thrust channel, and the rest, the drone will do it on its own. But it so what it means is it will stay auto level on its own. You just have to provide power to the motors, and it will fly. So uh, so next is future of drone. Well, uh, future of drone is very bright, and there are many companies which are going in this direction. For once, that is Amazon. Amazon has already tested their Amazon Prime Air service, which is going to deliver packages, small packages, which has a weight of 5 pounds at least. And they have tested the service in England. So what they have is a drone which has four blades, and it has a range of 2.5 kilometers, I think, and has a flying time of 13 minutes only. So so you can see the future of drones can be in delivery and other. We have also seen that Netr, which is an Indian drone, uh, which is built by DRDO, can also provide safety. And actually, Netra can do two things. And for first, it was designed to do mass surveillance and also to do recon missions as well. So another future application of drone is transportation. So we might be able to live long enough to see that happen, I think. And as an electronics engineer, the courses which we I have talked about today, you need to learn some coding languages which make all of these things happen. Be it Python, be it Node.js, be it C, be it C++, and these courses give you give you that experience that you will be able to build these things and also be a master in that programming language also. So this is everything which I wanted to tell you guys, and let's see what else Akshat has to tell us.
Okay, guys. So I could see a lot of people asking about various questions like what projects to work on and how we can combine machine learning and some good like IoT and robotics. So don't worry, we will be coming to that. Let me just go on further. Um, and also, so till now, if like I summarize, then what all did we learn today? So we learned about how the future of drone is, and we learned about what is a drone and how a drone is built. At least not exactly how a drone is built, but it's something like how a drone can be built. Okay, and like how so this drone picture that you are seeing over here is a real drone that a student made. Like using the components, right? You also learn about what is IoT and what are the things that you can do with IoT. We also learn about different types of robots that are there. We also learn about like how robots are used, and we also learn about PCB. Okay, so these are some really cool concepts that we have learned today. I would like to thank Ankit for making us introduce these concepts. Now I'm changing the course a little bit, changing the flow of this presentation a little bit. So I want to get out and talk to you guys about what like engineering students do in the college. Okay, so number one, so you guys, like most of the people over here are spending a lot of time on curriculum courses. Okay, 80% of the time they are spending on curriculum courses, right? And 10% of the time they're spending on projects and internships. Okay, and people think that okay, this is the right thing to do because that is what probably their seniors tell them, that if you do well in academics, you will be doing good. But actually that is not the case. Like as startups are becoming the mass recruiters right of now, you do not see companies like Infosys or Tata like coming to college placements, right? Which they used to come. Now it's the time of startups. The startups are becoming the mass recruiters after 4 years of engineering, right? So what are these startups looking for? These startups are looking for people who have done lots of projects, okay, and lots of internships, who have hands-on experience of actually making stuff, okay, not just having some marks in some subjects taught by the college. Okay, so that is what is really important, that you should be having real projects and real internships in your hands when you're going for your college placements. Okay, now where to learn these projects and where to do these kind of things. So basically, so you need to understand that whatever your college is teaching you is not going to help. Okay, your college is not the thing for that. Okay, what you actually need to do is you need to go online and learn all these things. Why? Because we as ecovisioners are always teaching you what is required by the industry. Okay, what is the latest that is happening, as Ankit was talking about LoRa network, right? He was he was also talking about various other things that were happening in the industry, right? Now all these things that we are talking about, which are being used in the industry, are already included and taught in the Ecovations online courses. Okay, and that is why we are asking that focus just 20% of the curriculum courses and spend rest of the time learning online and making some real projects and internships. Okay, now that is something that is really important. That is something that no one is going to ask you to do. You need to take the initiative yourself and go ahead and do it. Okay, now talking about the scope, if you do a little bit of online search, you will see that there are more than 10,000 open positions as of today in robotics and IoT. Okay, and the starting salary for all these jobs is at least 4 lakhs. Okay, now this is something that is really good, right? Like we can actually go ahead and become a good engineer if you are having some good level IoT and robotics skills. Okay, and all of that you can learn online at Ecovation. Okay, because that is what Ecovation enables you to do. Okay, so now let's see. Yeah, so where do you get placed at? Once you know these the important concepts of robotics and IoT, these are the kind of companies that are always available to hire people. Okay, like Uber, Amazon, Intel, Rivigo. Like there are many more companies and startups that are working in this domain of IoT and robotics. If you just go to Google and search for IoT startups, you will see a lot of companies right now coming up with IoT solutions and IoT like IoT products, right? And you can be one of them working in those companies. Okay, what are the benefits of doing like learning at Ecovation? So there are practically four benefits. One is the conceptual clarity. So like people like Ankit are always making sure that the concepts which are the most important for any student to do well in robotics and IoT are always taught. Okay, so you can get conceptual clarity. Then you work on live projects. Okay, some people were asking me what are the projects that they can build for a final year in IoT. I would say definitely go and check out the Equations IoT course, because that is what we are doing at Ecovation. We are making some really cool projects, helping people making some really cool projects in robotics and IoT and drone, which they can use for their college projects. They can modify them and they can actually build on them. Okay, the basic projects up till intermediate level, they can easily be built using Ecovation. Okay, how you can reach us? You can reach us out at our numbers 9266677335, or our email address is webinar@ecovation.com. And you can also visit our website as www.ecovation.com. You should definitely look out our courses, robotics, IoT, and drone on the on the link that I am sharing in the chat section. Okay, and do remember to use eco webinar as the promo code, which will give you an awesome 20% discount that is valid till today. It's only for the people who have attended this webinar. Okay, so now we are open for doubts. I'm opening I'm on the uh, like chat section live, taking up the doubts of the people. So let me start reading out the doubts. Yeah. So first doubt that we are having is it's by Karan Panchal. He's asking, sir, how can we connect Arduino with ESP8266 Node MCU Wi-Fi module? Please give me a right resource link as I'm not getting the source anywhere. I think this is something that only Ankit can answer. So over to you, Ankit.
So you can check Ardino forums for more info on this. You will definitely find some info regarding this there. And about any more resources, I think you can check the data sheet of these devices and see how the data is and how the connections are done and how you can transmit data and what's the right way to make connections and everything. Where is the data stored? What's the register value and everything.
Okay, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So Karan, do make sure that you read out the data sheets, and if you get any difficulty in figuring out what is the correct value and how do you connect in data sheets, you can also email us at webinar@equation. Probably we'll be able to give you a small help on that. Okay, ARK is asking how should I get started in robotics. So ARK, I would invite Ankit to answer this.
Well, if you are just want to start in robotics, well, I will say that you join our robotics course. And as it is a course for everyone, it is for students, for school students also, for college students also, and for also those people who have just recently wanted to build something and they found robotics very fascinating, and they can also join that course.
Yeah, and the best part is that even if you're not in computer science, even if you're not in electronics, you can still do that. Why? Because we have explained each and every component from the very basics. So we are actually telling you what is a resistor. We are actually telling you what is a capacitor. We are actually telling you how do you connect a transistor and a capacitor and make a actually circuit, right? As Karan was asking, how do you connect Arduino and ESP8266? I'm pretty sure that if he does Eckovation's robotics course, he'll be able to answer that question himself. Why? Because we actually teach you how to read data sheets, and we actually tell you how you make the real circuits and meet your requirements. Okay, so that is what the good thing about it. So if you really want to start, you can obviously go online and search through forums, start with Arduino, buy some parts from somewhere and start it, or you can subscribe for the Eckovations course. One more reason why everyone is liking Eckovations like robotics courses, that because we are sending you a complete kit. Okay, that kit contains all the parts that you need for your development, so you do not have to go to a shop to buy all these parts. You can just subscribe the course online and you will be getting all your parts at your home via courier. Okay, that is a good thing. ARK is also asking, how do I get started with machine learning? So again, ARK, for machine learning also, you can look up through various resources that are available for free. But if you're looking for someone in which you get a mentor who can help you figure out things, then you should definitely look for the Ecovations machine learning course as well. It is being taken by some very senior people from IIT Delhi and IIT Guwahati, who can who are really doing it very well. Okay. Um, yeah, so ARK is again asking, I'm pursuing civil engineering now. How can I work on robotics and so that I can do masters in machine learning? So ARK, I would say that if you want to do, for example, masters, then first of all you should get your basics right. Okay, so you make some very basic robots in the field of robotics, and do some at least intermediate level machine learning, and then use this combined knowledge to work in a good startup or in a good company, and then go ahead and do your masters. Okay, so that you will be able to actually do very well in your masters, right? Because you will be having real experience, project experience, and real working experience in some company. So Deep, how do you prepare for a career in IoT? How should I start with that? I think this Ankit can very well answer. Yeah.
Okay, sir. But so there is not a right or wrong way in this. So what you can do for IoT if you want to build a career in it. So first, learn the basics of coding. So you must know how C and C++ works on end device. That is what is written. Your basic application, the end device that is sending the data, that will work on C and C++. But the rest of the technologies like the application server where you write those application, like how do you play with that data, those need to be written in Python or in Node.js. So what you have to do is you need to learn all these languages first, and once you are able to once you are very familiar with these languages, what you can do is you can start building your own uh, things with Arduino Uno, and you can get the chips also from us. And but we will show you that how all of these things are connected and how do you code on it. And also you will at the end of the day have a complete functional application which will show how the data is traveled from your device, from your end device, to your phone or to your laptop or wherever you want it to be. So, and for the final thing which I'll say, so sometimes as an IoT engineer, you also have to design some hardware things also. For hardware stuff, so you can look at the small things first, like how Uno is built and what are the components in it and how those components are connected, and like how these connections are doing some particular thing and why those are connected in that way. So these are the things which makes you a good IoT engineer, I would say. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, thank you, Ankit, for the answer. And then Chiru is asking that what are some good projects that you can work on. So Chiru, there are various projects that you can work on. I can give you some examples on what are the things that you can possibly do. So you can go and build a room temperature monitoring system, which basically uses sensor to monitor the temperature of a room. You can build a motion detection system. For example, if there is any detection of a movement in a room, in a safe room or something like that, then it automatically sends an alert on a mobile phone saying that there is some movement in a room which is supposed to not having that, and then there is some alarm that needs to be raised. So you can make a motion detection system. In IoT, you can make a soil moisture sensor, and you can actually connect your motor with it, so that you can build a automatic water planting like plant watering system. You can build a home automation system wherein you will be able to turn off and turn on various devices on the basis of some logic that you do. You can also make a smile detection system using Raspberry Pi camera. So what you do is whenever you smile in the front of a robotic camera, it does something. For example, it clicks a photo of yours and posts it on Twitter, something like that. So this can be a really cool project to build on. And interestingly enough, all these projects you can also build using the Ecovation's IoT course, and also you will be getting all the components required. So all your sensors, all your wires, all your jumper cables, all your PCBs, breadboards, and everything. And in fact, the mentorship from expert IoT engineers right inside your app. Okay, so if you're really interested, then you can definitely subscribe for the Ecovations IoT course as well. um, Piyush is asking, sir, I want to make a reception robot for companies, hotels, and car companies, and college receptions, and lots of places where we use a reception robot. So, can you help me with this final project? Piyush, that's a very good question that you're asking. We can definitely give you some thoughts over it. So, for example, so this robot that you are planning to do will involve lots of things. Okay, it will require first of all some machine learning for being able to understand what the person is saying, who is entering and who is standing in the front of the robot and stuff like that. And then obviously you need world class robotics to make the robot stand on it and actually wire all the sensors which can take input all that recording that is happening and processing that information. Okay, so these two concepts you can use. I don't know what is your current level, current conceptual level that you are having. I don't know about that, but if you are having enough knowledge, then you can directly start with the concepts of IoT and start learning machine learning as well, and then combine both of them in making your project a reality. Okay. uh, Ashutosh is asking, is there any programming language needed to do IoT projects? I think Ankit sir already mentioned that you should ideally be knowing in Python, and it's good if you know Node.js as well. So if you know Python and Node.js, you can do pretty well in your IoT projects. Um, Abe Viral is saying, what should I choose for advanced level courses on machine learning and IoT? So, Abe Viral, I don't know what your current level is. If you are asking for up till an intermediate level course wherein you will be actually able to build some projects in machine learning and actually build your own working system of IoT, which is actually interacting with the things around you, then you should definitely look for Eckovation machine learning and IoT course. If you subscribe, you can definitely enroll for both of them together. Okay, that will give you the maximum benefit. Chiru is asking, is there any embedded device wherein we can connect three or more devices to that? I think Ankit can like answer this question better. So over to Ankit.
Well, yes, there are many devices which can connect to more than three devices. So first of all, Uno is a device which you can connect more than three components to. For that, first you need to learn the basic communication protocols, that is I2C, UART, and SPI. Well, SPI and I2C can both share their buses and can be connected to more than three devices, but there are some technical limitations to how much these buses can be connected to how much devices. So if you want to learn about all of these things, please take our courses. Then you will be able to know how each and every device can be connected to a particular device, or let's say how a sensor can be connected. Like let's say if we have an analog sensor and we want to get data from it, so how do you connect that to Uno, or how do you connect that to a Raspberry Pi, or how do you connect it to something else? All of these things will be covered in our courses, and you will be able to know how you can make these things happen.
Okay, guys. Yeah. So Puru World is asking, I am an Android developer. Want to switch to IoT. Can I do that?
Yeah, Puru, I think you can very easily do that. I just want to know, as an Android developer, I think you must have some programming language experience, and if you can develop uh, Android apps, so you will be able to do IoT as well. There is not a huge gap in these things, and
Yeah. So
you
you need
can
to
look for, yeah.
yeah. So you need to basically first of all make sure that whether you are having some basics of electronics or not. If you are not having any basics of electronics, then you should actually take up a Raspberry Pi and actually program it and do some real world interaction with the sensors and everything. Okay, that is one thing that you should definitely know. Okay, and
Please go on, please go on.
yeah, and then what you should actually be doing is that once you know like some electronics and how you are interacting and interfacing with the various sensors, then you can connect, then you can build on your programming experience that you are having with Android. Okay, and first of all, make the server end of these IoT projects, and which is able to collect all the data from all these sensors, and it was actually able to manifest that data onto an Android application. Okay, you can really do that. There are a lot of job opportunities and things that are available. as a starting point, you can also subscribe for the Equations IoT course, which gives you the access of all the material that is required. It is sent via courier in a form of a kit, and then it gives you a lot of access to basically the people who can really help you get started with the projects. Okay. Chiru is again asking, I have developed autonomous automations and irrigation system, motion detection, etc. So, can you tell me some more advanced projects?
Okay, so you have developed an automation irrigation system and also motion detection. So I will ask you to develop a project where you monitor the room temperature and switch off AC or the lights or something like that. You can use various components for that, but I will say to not do it on a local uh, kind of setup. Do something where it takes you to a something like if you are away from your home and you want to turn on and turn off your AC, or let's say if not AC then something else, then work something on that level, and then you will be able to guess more advanced IoT projects like that.
Yeah, so I hope Chiru that answers your question. And one more thing that would be an advanced thing for you to do is that if you're also if you're done with these projects as well, then try eliminating the Raspberry Pi that you are using. Okay, try making a circuit with your like vanilla resistors, transistors, and capacitors, and make a board Raspberry board on your own, and then build a project around it. That will be a really next level thing for you to do if you have done these projects as well, like already. Vishal is asking, sir, which shields or additional components are required for an IoT refrigerator on an intelligent refrigerator?
Well, yeah. So Vishal, I just want to know, like, refrigerators already have a temperature control in them, so they don't always take up a fixed amount of electricity. So I just want to know how do you want to make an intelligent refrigerator? Like, if you can explain your question a little bit more.
Okay, so there is this question from Harkesh. How can I connect machine to phone app and how?
Well, you can connect a machine to phone app. Well, for that you need a communication protocols like we have talked about. IoT is a communication protocol. Wi-Fi is another communication protocol with which you can connect two devices. That is your Wi-Fi and your phone. You can connect both of them and you can transfer data in between them. So that is one way.
Okay, and now this Robomax is asking which one is best, offline or online? So Robomax, I would say online is the best. Why? Because first of all, you're getting constant mentorship. So 24/7, you're getting mentorship from some really expert people who are available to you in the courses. Number one. Number two, you get the goodness of multiple people and having some real experience. So if you go in like to some offline coaching centers or wherever, you are always having people who are just doing that thing for a lot of years, right? So they get disconnected from what is happening in the industry. When a person from the industry himself is coming and teaching you something, that is something you call real learning. Okay, that is something that is the learning that will actually help you get a job. Okay. Uh, so it is very important, so that is why like I recommend people that online training is the best training. So we have about only 2 minutes left. I'm going to take this last question from Piyush. Sir, I'm in second year and have two seniors and some wireless system knowledge, and I'm going in all type of robotic competitions like robo war, robo race, and line follower, and
Okay.
using PID coding.
Okay. So, have you worked on object avoiding robots? If that is something that you haven't figured it out till now, so work on that, I think.
Oh yeah, so Piyush, I think your question was in continuation to that you want to make a reception robot, right? So it's good, Piyush, that you're having this experience. Now I think you should be focusing on machine learning, so that you can get some ample coding experience as well, and then you can combine your coding experience, the machine learning experience that you will be having with your with your like robotics experience that you are already having. Okay. So with this, I would like to close. It was really fun for both of us being able to talk to so many students, and I hope we sort of made a little bit of difference in your lives today. And I hope now you're having a little bit like a better idea of how like the industry is for robotics and IoT. I've posted all the courses that we talked about in this webinar, like in the comment section, and I'm also posting in our phone number and our email address. In case you are having any doubt on anything, then you can just mail us on that, and you can obviously always visit our main website if you're having like for any doubt, and like you want to go further and do something. Okay. That is it for now. And like I would really thank all of you for coming for this webinar. We'll be conducting these webinars regularly, so stay tuned for the future webinars. Do subscribe to the Ecovation's YouTube channel so that you can be updated about the future webinars. Thank you.